Here with Patrick Lescarbeau, and you were in the movie The Shakedown, which will be playing at the film festival. First of all, how did you end up getting this role?
I just answered I believe it was a backstage casting call. It might have been backstage, or it might have been on a Facebook group for the Austin area actors. Oh. And I just answered that, went and auditioned, and you'll see when you see the movie what kind of came of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting, and you have an accent in the film, right? So
yes, not this accent, obviously.
No, not that accent.
I have a different accent in the film. Yes, mm-hmm. a very Russian accent.
Yeah. Did you have you done more accents before and other things, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've been acting since I was about 9 years old, so I've done English accents, I've done Russian accents, German accents, just stupid voices when need be. So yeah, I've messed around with that for years.
Absolutely. So, how was the process for this film?
It was great. It was not a lot of rehearsal. No. We did a lot of kind of ad hoc stuff, real quick and real fast. Mm-hmm. But I loved it. It was very loose set, very forgiving set. So I'm sure there are a lot of outtakes of stuff that I just kind of riffed on that did definitely not make it into the final cut.
Yeah. And yeah, so it was a good all around cast and everything. You said you just did everyone else just do the same kind of process for acting?
Yeah, I mean, the person playing Iggy, she, you know, we would. I'm the kind of actor who, unless you say cut, I just keep going.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, and she would too. So we would just keep going, and then someone would go, and then finally, Randy would be like, cut. We're done. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna keep going until someone says stop. So we did a lot of that together. It was fun.
Do you do a lot of comedy? Because this is comedy, right? So do you usually do that?
Yeah, I mean, I normally get cast as like the comedic dad or the comedic relief or the goofy neighbor or stuff like that. But it's fun. It's time to it's an ability for me to let loose, and I really enjoy that. Normally, comedy is actually harder than drama as a whole, to be completely honest. Especially when you're doing live theater. I've done a lot of live theater comedy. That's way harder than doing filmed comedy, because at least the editor can cut some stuff and get those comedic moments in there the right way. It's a little bit easier than doing it live. But yeah, I love comedy. It's like it's what I do on a daily basis.
Were you able to do much during this crazy time period, or?
Well, I can tell you right now, not until like recently. From March, I want to say until about a month ago. No, there was nothing. I maybe had 3 auditions during the whole entire complete lockdown, where Hollywood wasn't doing anything at all. Mm-hmm. But recently, I've had more auditions because things have started to open up, and with, of course, the advent of the vaccine coming on, I'm looking at that's probably going to pick up a lot more now, which is great. But it's been a really rough. It's been a really rough year. It's been a very, very rough year. I did a couple. I did a Madison Reed for Men hair coloring commercial because I could do it from home.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Another thing because I could do it from home. There were like 2 at-home gigs that I got. I'm like, I'm coloring my hair for cash. Okay. Well, I'm like, what else? I'm gonna open an OnlyFans page. Am I gonna? No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm gonna stick to acting. So. Yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah, unfortunately. And then, what about this film? Did you get to play in any theaters at all, or any film festivals that or did it just just online stuff?
I think it's only been online. I think there might have been one film festival that it was in right before the lockdown occurred, but I don't think it's been on a big screen as of yet. Randy could probably tell you better than I. But yeah, I know it's been in a bunch of festivals. But I don't know how many of them were live screenings and how many of them were actually virtual screenings at this point. I'm going to say the majority of them were probably virtual screenings.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. People that I'm asking, the bulk of them now. Like I did a fest a while back online, and some people like, oh yeah, I got to see it. And now it's like, nope.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen her. I have like 3 movies that I've done, or 3 shorts, or and actually even a feature. I think that's in film festivals right now. I haven't, no red carpet. I haven't seen anything. I haven't. It's just been they're like, hey, well, we were in this festival. Oh, okay, that's good to know. How'd it go? Oh, everyone liked it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I haven't even seen like the final cut of a bunch of other stuff. I've been able to see this because of some of the online stuff that they've done. But there's like 3 or 4 films that I haven't even seen. I don't even know how it turned out. I'm afraid to watch now.
Well, but yeah, I mean, before all this, you were working a lot, huh? You got a nice little resume there of a lot of different things.
Yeah. It was kind of. And I mean, I've been looking at some, like, I was on kind of an uptick. I was on a rise, and then somebody had to eat a bat, and then that kind of just threw everything out of the window for me. So I've got 2 other features that they're still talking about distribution, but they're waiting. They're kind of waiting to see, what's going to happen. Are they going to open movie theaters to 75 to 100% capacity? What are they going to do? Yeah. So I mean, I'm sitting back going like, okay, they're going to get released sooner or later. I just don't know where, and I don't know when.
There is kind of an ending to the, like now that the vaccine's out, it's coming, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my father always used to say, like, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. My grandfather would say, like, sometimes it's a train.
Yeah.
But this time it looks like it's actually a green light at the end of the tunnel, where we're going to get back to some sort of normalcy. Because I've been on a couple sets where the COVID protocols are wow. It's just you got a COVID officer walking around going like, you need a mask, why aren't you wearing a mask, you can't stand that close together, and I'm just, okay, all right. So it's been rough for creatives as a whole. I think, to be completely honest, like the DPs and people like that, people behind the scenes, not a lot's changed for them except wearing masks. It's kind of hard to like be wearing a mask for an hour to 3 hours, and then okay, take off the mask and now act. Okay, I've been looking at someone like this for the past hour and a half, and then all of a sudden, oh, okay, that's you. Oh, okay, that's what you look like. All right, cool. Okay, let's roll this.
It does. It takes time to adjust. I'm a teacher, and I have to wear it all day, but then I have to sneak outside and like just take it off.
Oh yeah. Going shopping. I'm like, I got like 30 minutes. I can be somewhere shopping. I'm like, I gotta leave. I gotta go outside. I'll be back in. Don't touch my cart. Go back in. I'm like, okay, I'm good to go for another 30 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been like. What about so have you been doing anything kind of creative during this time? You ever think of doing any writing or anything? Or
I have a script that I wrote. It's a feature. And we did an Indiegogo for it. And we got like 30% or about 30% funded through the Indiegogo. And I've been doing rewrites on that basically during the lockdown. I've been tightening this up, taking this character out, moving this character over here. So, and it's the first thing I'd ever written. And it won a couple awards at some screenwriting festivals. So I've been kind of just, working on that, and then just, working on my own stuff, just, honing my own craft and watching some of the stuff that came out. I got to finally, I watched Wonder Woman 1984. That came out. So I was like, oh, great. An actual movie that I haven't seen 900 times with different stuff in it. So I watched that, so that's kind of what I've done is I've honed, what I do as a whole, watched some old stuff, kind of got in touch with some of the older things that, inspired me, and then, and working on my script at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that, that's basically I feel like so many people are doing so many creative things that when we're ready to go, it's going to just boom.
Yeah. That's what and TikTok. I've been on TikTok. I think every single creative who got bored, I want to say, because the lockdown kind of happened in March. I didn't around with TikTok in March. My daughters were looking at it. I've got 6 daughters, okay, and 3 of them are big TikTok fanatics, and I'm like, okay, well, let me check this out, and I'm like, just look up. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. Oh my, 3 hours. I'll be okay watching videos for 3 hours. All right. Okay, well, maybe I'll make some stuff. So I started making some stuff, and then I kind of got a little bit of a following on TikTok. And I'm like, all right, every once in a while I post something. I'll do dumb dad jokes or whatever. I have no niche whatsoever. But that's kind of how I've been keeping myself a little occupied. I want to say artistically is I'll make a TikTok about something real quick, or I'll throw on one of the thousands of cosplays that I do and just, do a line from a movie over and over and have people duet that. So it's kind of what I've been reduced to.
Well, I can imagine what we would do if we didn't have technology or have this or any of the social media. I think everyone would be going really crazy.
Yeah, you gotta think about that. Like everyone keeps, referring to the 1918 pandemic. I'm like, what did those poor people do? What did they do?
What did they do for that long? It was a couple of years, right? It was a few years. So
yeah, it was a few years. What did they do? I mean, granted, I'm sure a lot of babies popped out 9 months after the pandemic, but I mean, other than that, what did you have to do? What did it? I'm like, thank God almost for the technology now. Just because, like I said, it's at least kind of kept us connected to an extent. Whereas, I mean, I guess letter writing was their technology back then. And
even if you go back to the 80s, like, what would we have done if this happened in 1980s?
I mean, at least we would have had phones, though. I mean,
phones.
That would have been cool and okay. But I mean, I was a kid in the 80s. Yeah, I'd have been stuck at home watching Transformer reruns over and over.
Over and over, yep.
Over and over. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly it. Oh, boy. But, so hopefully we'll get back to this soon and get a lot going. But, well, about the film, how long did it take to film that again? The short film.
I want to say it was about 3 to 4 days of filming.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, there weren't a lot of locations, but the great thing is that, I mean, the Austin area is very open, to people coming in and using their places a lot. Or is an actual liquor store in Austin that we used. Part of it, I think, was Randy's garage that we used for part of it. So I mean, it was kind of cool that we had access to that, but it only took about 3 to 4 days. And it was filmed on iPhones, I believe. It was all
really,
yeah,
really. Oh wow!
I mean, the footage came out incredible. I was like, we're doing this on an iPhone, really?
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember flip phones. That's how. So and those pixelated pictures we used to get on those. But I was like, wow, this, and I don't know how well the editing. I don't know what they did to edit, but it looks phenomenal from what I've seen.
Yeah, I wonder what the iPhones are like 4K already or like.
Yeah, the new ones are 4K. And I'm like, what? They're gonna release actual movie soon.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I would have never known that was an iPhone.
Yeah. Yep, that was all filmed on iPhones. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 iPhones that they had, because they actually did. And it's crazy. They did like multiple shots on iPhones. Like I've been on sets where you've got like 2 or 3 cameras set up, what kind of move. But yeah, it was like, just move the tripod, move this tripod. And I was like, wow, okay, cool.
That's awesome. All right. Have they done anything else that maybe have you worked with any of them before or after?
No, I hadn't at all. I hadn't worked with any of them before. But there was a great cast to work with. They were all like super relaxed, and I mean, they were all ready to work. And I think a lot of them had done theater before. So the great thing about kind of working with former theater, because I did theater my whole entire life until like 4 years ago, is that normally we all come with everyone else's lines memorized as well. Like we don't only have our line. So I mean, and that makes there's some line drops and stuff like that. It's easier to pick up because everybody else's stuff. So I think there were a lot of stage actors on there that helped, I think, increase the speed of the process.
Oh, great. Well, hopefully we'll get to do it live, but if not, well, we're definitely prepared to do it online. We're just going to make a decision soon, but I thought it'd be great to get some interviews in and get that up there at least.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. I love doing interviews. I was on a bunch of podcasts last year. And then I did a few as the situation unfolded. And then I was like, you know what? I'm done. I can't deal with anybody anymore. I can't deal with this. I got no work. I don't want to. I had a beard like for the longest time during this. I looked like Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, it's. I've been going in and out too. I've been podcasting. I've been interviewing and doing stuff, and I grew a beard too.
Yeah, I know. I think that was the thing for us guys.
Just
We're
to get
like,
through.
okay, you know what? Let's let the facial hair rock for a while. Let's just
Yeah.
go with that. I had like, and I just recently got my hair cut. I had like Albert Einstein crazy hair for a while, and I was just like, okay, I've got to take care of myself at this point in time. I don't know what women did. Maybe they just didn't shave. I don't know. Maybe they let their armpit hair and their leg hair grow, but we let our face hair grow.
Yeah.
We started looking like mad scientists. I would love actually for someone, and it's going to happen at some point in time. There's got to be some comedy movie that's going to come out about all this that's gone on for the past year. Where a guy just hunkers down in his basement and comes out, with a beard down to his chin or a beard down to his knees or something. I'm just waiting for that. Maybe I'll write it. Who knows?
Yeah. No, I'm sure that was funny because I was talking to someone about it the other day about like, there's going to be so many COVID movies after this is over. And I'm like, I don't want to watch them.
Because we lived it. Like I watch the History Channel and I watch like, World War II. I'm like, I don't want to watch anything about this anymore. I'm done.
Yeah, just let's move on and pretend it didn't.
I want to forget 2020. 2020 is going to become, you're 2020 dad. Yeah, you're really 2020 that one. Yeah, that's gonna be like the new swear word.
Oh, exactly right. So, do you want anything? Do you want to promote anything? Do you, like you said, your TikTok, or you got some websites, or where can you see some of your films and stuff?
You can always look me up there and see some of the stuff that I've gotten pre-production. I actually have another film that's in pre-production right now that I'm involved in called The Father. It's with a bunch of Austin creatives. Actually, and I think I'm pretty sure they have attached to it Robert Lescarbeau. I don't know if you know who Robert Lescarbeau is, but he was in The Mule with Clint Eastwood. He always plays like the bad Hispanic guy. He's got like tons of tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Really mean looking dude. So he's attached to that. Then Showdown at the Brazos should be coming out soon. That's a Western I was in.
No.
And that's fun. And then if people go to my TikTok, there's a lot of the short films that I did. And I started doing that. Linktree has been a phenomenal thing. I don't know if you know what Linktree is, but Linktree
I've seen it, but
awesome. So what I've done with my TikTok is people can go in and watch my stupid little TikToks. But then there's a Linktree to every single one of the short films that I've done like over the past 1.5 to 2 years.
Wow.
So you can go in and watch those. There's a Western on there called Bible of Wolves. There's a drama that just came out called Alone in the Darkness, which is really, really about sex trafficking and human trafficking, and it's dark. It's very dark. A film called Tuskegee that I did 2 years ago that they finally released after going to all of the festivals. It's about the Tuskegee experiment that happened in Alabama, where they injected a bunch of African American males with syphilis to see their reaction to it. So it's all about that. So there's a bunch of my films are on there. If you go to my TikTok, and it's just my first and last name. I'm not really cool. Like I got all these people, like there's guys called Bar None, and there's guys called Tainted Lyric, and there's people called like I Am Chris, like Patrick Lescarbeau. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with my name. That's it. Easy for people to find me.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you can find me on TikTok there. I'm on Facebook. I've got the IMDb link. There's actually merchandise also on my link tree for Bible of Wolves. They started selling like T-shirts and stuff with the movie poster of Bible of Wolves, which is really, really cool. It's like I said, that's a great one. But Showdown at the Brazos is coming out soon. I just shot another one that should be coming out, I want to say in the next 2 to 3 months, and I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. I was a day player. I was like, I had 2 or 3 scenes with the lead actor named David Carbajal. He's a creator here in Texas. Desolation Row, that's the name of it. I knew it would come to me. And then Stroke of Luck. I think there's a website for that as well. I'm like the dad, a major supporting character in that. And that should be coming out probably this upcoming year. They finally got the final cut done, and they're in distribution talks right now. But again, with everything that's going on, we don't know if it's going to stream, if it's going to go to we don't know. So that's what they're talking over right now. Is this going to go out to the world, or is this going to just go to small screen? Who knows? So
it was booming out there by you right before all this happened, right? It was starting to rise big time.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm a traveling actor too, because like Stroke of Luck was shot in Massachusetts. I went up there to shoot that. Shown at the Brazos was shot here in Texas. Alone in the Dark was shot in Texas, but in northern Texas. And then I had gone out to New Mexico to shoot a film called Aliens, Drugs, and Beer. Yeah,
it's a good title.
it's and that's supposed to be going to the festival circuit as well. So I mean, I kind of travel all over the place, but yeah, it had started to pick up after the lull, because what happened in Texas as a whole is, I mean, they stopped a lot of the subsidies in Texas. They kind of cut a lot of them out, and after that, everyone kind of said, okay, we're not going to shoot in Texas anymore, because they don't give any freebies basically, or any tax breaks. Well, that started to slowly pick up again. They started to slowly realize that when you don't offer those tax breaks, it doesn't just affect the film industry, it affects all the ancillary industries as well, like, I don't know, hotels and restaurants and all the stuff where all the crew and cast eat and go to stay and sleep. And so they kind of finally realized that, and so started upping it again. And then of course this happened. So, but they have been shooting. I know Walker's been shooting out here, the reboot of Walker Texas Ranger with Jared Padalecki. And I auditioned, though I haven't heard anything, but hopefully, I mean, we'll keep it crossed. But yeah, I auditioned for a role in that, a recurring role. But that started shooting recently. So like I said, things are starting to pick back up, because I kind of, like, I guess, got a handle on, how to work around the pandemic. So that's good. That's good for everybody, in my opinion. So like I said, it's starting to pick back up again, but yeah, it was booming for a while. And then, I
go to Houston every year. We go to a Comic-Con down there, and it's also a film festival. So we've been hitting it up. And last year, of course, we couldn't go. We're hoping maybe this year we can go, and we still don't really know. So
no, I mean, we don't. And then the funny thing is, I moved out of downtown Austin. I was in a place called Westlake, which is right next to the high school where Drew Brees and Nick Foles went to, and that they graduated from, 2 Super Bowl champion quarterbacks. I lived down there, but I moved to Leander because I was like, and there's a place out here called the HEB Center, Cedar Park HEB Center, is where they have the Greater Austin Comic-Con. I'm a huge Comic-Con guy. I'm a huge Comic-Con guy. I go to all.
I got my.
Oh, there you go. Okay, all right.
Kevin Smith stuff on.
All the time. I cosplay and I go there all the time. And I'm like, oh, great, because it was supposed to happen in October out here. Like, literally, I could have walked to the place and then walked home. That's how close I am to it. I'm like, perfect.
Wow.
Sorry, it's close. I'm like, all right. So now I don't know what to do. I have thousands of dollars worth of cosplay in my closet that I'm just using for TikToks now. Is basically that's what it's become. But yeah, I'm hoping some of that stuff opens up again soon. And I think it will. I think as soon as we get on this vaccination train and things start rolling, I'd say probably by the end of next year, things will be back to some kind of normalcy where maybe you don't have to wear a mask going to a grocery shop anymore.
I know, right? Yeah.
So, I mean, but hey, we'll see. Well, everybody keep their fingers crossed. But for now,
absolutely,
this is the new normal, as everyone likes to say. So
absolutely,
how it is.
Well, thanks for joining me here for a few minutes today. I gotta hopefully we'll get to see you one of these days, and instead of online, we'll see.
Yeah, in person, maybe someday. Maybe the Shakedown will make its cons premiere. I don't know, and then maybe we'll be able to go to that. Well,
thanks for joining me. I got a bunch more coming up, so I'm gonna be on here all night long.
And then thanks for watching the film.